And we're live. Hello. So in this live, there's a few things that I want to talk about. However, I will be doing human design readings, foundational human design readings, which cover your energy type, your authority, your profile, your definition, and your sun gates, your unconscious and conscious sun gates. So if at any point during the live you want to get a foundational human design reading from me, my information is here. My Cash App, my Venmo is here. Just let me know that you paid and I will pull up your chart in real time and give you a reading. However, while we wait for people to get on, I have a few things that I want to talk about. And the first thing is human design and manifestation. Now, I started off as a manifestation coach, yeah? And then when I got into human design, I realized, well, I was taught there are specific aspects of your chart, of your human design chart, that can relate to and correlate with manifestation and how you are best meant to bring things into your physical reality. And we're going to talk about that today. However, I want to be very clear about where I stand on this and on manifestation as a whole. Your thoughts are what are creating your reality. Point blank, period. That is just personally what I believe. If you do not change your mindset, it's going to be very difficult to change your reality. That's just personally what I believe. I don't want to limit anyone, but that's just baseline. That's where I am with it, yeah? So it's not necessarily that you need human design to manifest. You're always manifesting, whether you know about human design or not. Where I have found utilizing your human design can be helpful is in embodiment, is in learning how to deal with negative or intrusive thoughts, and learning how to take inspired action rather than forcing or pushing. Why is your Cash App up? My Cash App is up because I am giving live readings for anyone who wants one. So whoever wants a reading can Venmo me the $44 for the reading, Venmo or Cash App me $44 for the reading, and I will do your reading in real time on the live stream. That's why all my payment information is there, because I am doing live human design readings. As I'm talking about, all the other things that I want to talk about on the live. Where was I? Yes. So that is where I have found human design can be helpful in terms of manifesting. How long is the reading? It's not a timed reading, but we go over your energy type, your authority, your profile, your definition, and your sun gates. So all of that, roundabout, I would say 10 to 15 minutes. Unless I'm talking real fast. If I talk real fast, I could probably get it done sooner. But I would say maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Honestly, 5-10 minutes. Something like that. And if you have questions, you can ask me while I'm doing it and I'll answer those, obviously. But that's roundabout time frame. Okay. So when it comes to manifestation, there's a few areas of your chart that most readers will look at when talking about manifestation. The first one is your bottom right arrow. This is your perspective. And if it points to the left, this means you're a specific manifestor. If it points to the right, then it means you are a non-specific manifestor. If you are a specific manifestor, this just means that when you are trying to manifest something, when you want to bring something into your reality, you need to get very detailed. Like, say you're trying to manifest a house. What color is the house? How many floors does the house have? How many bathrooms does it have? What's your decor look like? If you are a specific manifestor, you want to nail down all of those details. However, if you are a non-specific manifestor, you just need to have a general idea of what you want. You don't need to know exactly where the house is going to be, what color the house is going to be, how many rooms you want in the house. Trying to figure all that out is just going to frustrate you. You just need to know, I want to manifest a house, this is where I want it to be, and that's it. You don't really have to go into a whole lot of detail. Honestly, it's not your thing. I am a non-specific manifestor, and when I found this out, I was like, that makes so much sense, because trying to nail down all the details of what I want has always frustrated me to no end. So if you are having trouble manifesting because you're trying to force yourself to come up with all the details for what you want because people have told you that's what you need to do, you might be a non-specific manifester, and you don't need to do that. Another area of your human design chart that could be helpful in regards to manifestation is your G center. Your G center in human design is your identity center. This is your sense of purpose, your sense of direction, your sense of who you are, but also your sense of lovability and self-worth. So people who have defined G centers have a very specific idea of who they are. They have a very defined purpose. They have a very defined direction in life. They know who they are in every situation. They're pretty much the same person. People who have undefined G centers are kind of chameleons. They sort of change depending on what the situation is or who they're around. They could essentially be a different person, but it's not that they're a different person. They're just bringing out different aspects of themselves in different situations. People who have undefined G centers are very susceptible to conditioning. They are susceptible to searching for love outside of themselves, which can be a problem. They're susceptible to feeling like they don't know who they are, so they search for their sense of identity in someone else, which can also be a problem. So when you are looking to manifest, a very big piece of that is how you see yourself, because there is a concept called everyone is you pushed out. And if you see yourself as someone who has no purpose, who has no direction, who isn't worthy of respect, you are going to continue to manifest people and situations that make you feel the way you already feel about yourself. So part of learning about your human design is realizing that you need to let go of some of the conditioning that you've picked up in childhood. And looking at your human design chart, you can see very clearly where that conditioning is and use manifestation techniques like affirming, like visualizing, like scripting. You know, I think those are like the three big, like the main ones, to help combat the conditioning that you have picked up in childhood. So your G center is another place in your human design chart that could be helpful when you're trying to manifest. Let me see if there's, okay. I think, wow. Okay, that's interesting. Got it. Okay. Thank you for the follows. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, manifestation. Another part of your human design chart that I think can be helpful when talking about manifestation, especially if we're talking about manifesting money, is your heart center. Your heart center is another center that kind of deals with your worth and how you see yourself, but it also deals with matters of finances, career, security, things like that. What is happening? And normally, people who have a defined heart center, they have a very consistent willpower and motivation, but also at the same time, they have this energy of wanting to prove themselves to other people, which is energetically correct for them. People who have undefined heart centers, they are not here to prove themselves to other people, and they do not have a consistent motivation and consistent willpower. So it's usually the people who have undefined heart centers that are called lazy and unmotivated and undisciplined, when in actuality, they're just not meant to operate in the same way as someone who has a defined heart center. So if you have an undefined heart center and you are pushing and forcing yourself to do all of these things because you think it's what's going to help you manifest money or get you the money that you desire, you actually could be pushing it further and further away because you're trying to take inspired action. But you're not actually taking inspired action, you're taking action out of your undefined center, which is pushing you into your shadow, which is not great. So knowing where you're undefined can also help you with manifestation, because it shows you what your conditioning could be, and it also shows you where you are acting out of your shadow self rather than who you actually are, which is your defined centers. Let me think. I think that's actually it. So manifestation itself as a concept has nothing to do with human design. The creator of the system did not say this works for manifestation, this doesn't work for manifestation. It wasn't even a thought in his mind when he created the system. Readers nowadays that are talking about manifestation as it relates to human design, it is their interpretation. So this is simply my interpretation of using your human design chart, using the things that you learn about yourself through human design in your manifestation journey. That is it. Okay, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, someone asked me on my YouTube channel, what is the benefit, the purpose of getting a human design reading? And I think that's a really good question because there's so much free information. You could literally learn anything you wanted to learn about the human design system for free just by Googling it, going to YouTube, looking at videos, or TikTok or Instagram. There's so much free information. So if all this information is online for free, why would I have to pay, $44, $150 for a reading? That doesn't make any sense. Well, the first reason why I think it is beneficial to get a reading from someone who actually does this is because we do readings all the time. Like, I know for me, my primary focus is doing readings for other people, which means I've had a lot of practice, which means I'm very, very, very good at what I do. So when you have a reading with me, you know that you are getting someone who is an expert. You know you're getting someone who has studied this, and you know you're getting someone who makes this their full-time job. This is what I do. It's not like I just picked this up off the street and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start doing readings now because no. Like, this is literally what I do. This is my area of expertise. I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm saying when I'm giving my readings. So it's a sense of trust in that aspect. Also, human design is a bit of a rabbit hole. Okay, so you might think that, you're just dipping your toes in and dabbling in human design because you want to learn more about your chart. You will get sucked in. And I don't mean to say that like in a bad way, because it's not a bad thing, but you will get sucked in. So if you want to know information about your chart without getting completely engulfed in it, without getting completely sucked into it, sucked down the rabbit hole, getting a reading will be very beneficial because it's streamlined. We are talking about the things that I see in your chart. You're not going to have to go to 15 different blog posts and 25 different YouTube videos to get the information that you want and or need, because I'm already laying it out for you. You have everything that you need to know, everything that you want to know in this reading. You're good. The third benefit that I see from getting a reading from an actual reader who does this rather than, doing it yourself, which, like I said, you could do it yourself, is that you can ask specific questions. Because if you are new to human design and there's things that you want to know about your chart, if you're doing a DIY reading, you may not know the right questions to ask to get the information that you need. Say that you're a business owner and you want to use human design to start your business. Like, you want to be in alignment with your human design as you're starting your business. You may not know all of the things that go into that from a human design perspective. What planetary transits correlate to your message, how you're best meant to use your energy, what each center correlates to, how you can use your defined and undefined centers to connect with your audience, to coach your clients, whatever it is that you do. You might not know all of that because you are not actually a reader. You're not in this world. You haven't studied this. This is just something that you want to incorporate into your life. So you might not know what questions to ask to get the information that you need. But when you go to a reader, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has specific readings for people who want to create their own business, you now have a resource that is going to give you everything that you need to know without you having to stress out about, what if I'm missing something? What if there's something in my chart that I'm not seeing because this isn't actually my area of expertise? So those are my the three biggest benefits of getting a reading with someone who actually does this rather than going and doing it yourself. Not to say that you can't. I put plenty of free information on my YouTube channel, plenty of free information on my TikTok. There's so many YouTube and TikTok human design people. So if one doesn't resonate with you, someone will. Because there are literally so many readers on all of these different platforms. There's someone for everyone. Okay, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, you're not self-theme. So if you have been on my profile for any amount of time, if you've seen any kind of videos about human design, you may have heard about the not self-theme. Each energy type, there are 5 energy types, has their own not self-theme. And your not self-theme is your indication that you are living out of alignment with your design. If you are feeling the emotion of your not self-theme, it means that something somewhere needs to shift because you have gotten off track somewhere. And that is your sign to kind of take an inventory and get yourself back into alignment with your energy type. Let me check these comments. Thank you for the follow. My not self-theme is frustration. I'm a 3-5 generator. Yes. Yes. So that's what we're going to go over right now. For generators and manifesting generators, your not self-theme is frustration. And the reason for this is because as a generator and a manifesting generator, you create energy. You have your sacral center defined. The sacral center is the largest motor center in the body. And its primary job is to just create energy. However, you only create energy when you are doing things that excite you and light you up. So when you are not doing things that excite you and light you up, you are not creating energy. However, you are using energy. So you're using energy, but you're not making it. So you're going to get burnt out. And because your sacral center can't do what it is designed to do, now it's feeling frustrated because there's nowhere for this excess energy to go because you are not creating the space for it to create more to push it out. So being frustrated can look like stagnation. It can look like feeling uninspired, feeling listless, like you don't want to do anything. You're just sitting here like, I feel like I should be something. I feel like I should be doing something, but I don't want to do anything. But like sitting here not doing anything is kind of driving me insane. That's what frustration can look like. It can also just be emotional frustration. Like I really hate what I am doing. And I'm so frustrated that this is the situation that I'm in right now. Like I literally just freaking hate it. That is your not self-theme as a generator or a manifesting generator. In order to get out of that, you have to start to pull back on the things that you are doing that do not light you up. And most of the time, these are the things that you're doing because you feel like you should be doing them. If you find yourself saying, oh, I should do this, that is a clear indication that's something that's probably not lighting you up or exciting you. So in order to get yourself out of your not self-theme of frustration, you have to start to take inventory and start to pull back on the things that do not light you up and do not excite you, or go about them in a different way. If that way is not exciting you, find another way. Okay, so that is generators and manifesting generators. Manifestors and manifesting generators, because manifesting generators are a hybrid of manifestors and generators. You have 2 not self-themes. Isn't that wonderful? Just fantastic. Anyway, so yes, manifestors and manifesting generators, your not self-theme is anger. It can also be like some low-key irritation. Like you're not angry, like you want to yell at someone, but you're just irritated. Like every little thing is just like, it's irritating. Like the fly that's buzzing around your head. It can also be some low-key anger like that. Like you're just freaking irritated all the time. And the reason for this is because you crave freedom. That is the number one thing for manifestors and manifesting generators. You crave freedom. So when you feel as though you are being put into a box, when people are telling you what to do, when you feel like you can't do the things that you are being pulled and called to do, you are going to feel angry or irritated, because deep down in your soul, you know that you are meant for more than whatever it is that you're doing right now, but you feel like you can't get there. You do not have the freedom to do what you want to do in this moment, and that is irritating as hell for you. So, as a manifester and as a manifesting generator, in order to get out of this not self theme of anger or irritation, you have to do, well, you could do a few different things. Number one, notice the areas of your life where you already have freedom. Where are the areas in your life where you have the freedom to do things the way that you want to do them? Focus on those areas. Expand on those areas. And number two, let go of the things that make you feel boxed in. Let go of the things that make you feel stifled, whether that is a hobby that isn't lighting you up anymore, or that doesn't feel expansive for you anymore, whether that is a relationship that feels like it's like someone's sitting on your wings, like you can't spread and fly and do the things that you want to do because of this other person. Start to let those things go, and you will start to feel less and less angry and irritated. But moving more towards freedom is going to alleviate some of that anger for you, if that's where you are right now as a manifestor or a manifesting generator. Okay. Manifestor, generator. Oh, let's do projectors. Projectors. Your not self theme is bitterness. And the reason why is because your big thing is recognition. You are so efficient. You are literally the guides to society. So for you, being recognized and appreciated for your wisdom, for your guidance, is everything to you. So when you are not feeling recognized, when you are not feeling validated, when you are not feeling appreciated by the people that you are trying to help, you are going to feel bitter. And this bitterness can also come off as kind of annoyance. Like you're just annoyed with everyone and everything. So in order to get out of this, the first thing you need to do is start a self-validation practice. If you are a projector, any kind of projector, and you are not validating yourself every single day, that's the first problem. You need to be validating yourself every single day as a projector, number one. Number two, you need to make sure that you're following your strategy of waiting for the invitation. Because when you give out your wisdom and your guidance to people who are not ready to hear it, and they reject it, and it just bounces off of them, that is going to push you into your not self theme of bitterness. But I'm going to say this with all the love in the world, that is your fault. You cannot just offer up your wisdom, offer up your guidance without first making sure that the person you are giving it to is energetically ready to hear it. If you do that, you're going to feel bitter. I promise you're going to feel bitter. Because they are not going to take it the way that you feel they should take it, and it's going to be some shit. Okay? It's going to be some shit. Have you done reflectors yet? No, I have not done reflectors yet. I will be getting to reflectors in a little bit. Can you talk about anything other than moon cycle? Yeah, I mean, I can. Yes, I can. But that is a really big part of it. But yes, I can. Where was I? Okay, I've done generators, manifesting generators, manifestors, projectors. Oh, okay, reflectors. We're at reflectors. Okay, so reflectors, your not self theme is disappointment. And reflectors are very interesting. You are the karmic mirror of society. Yeah. You are completely open. You are completely undefined, which makes you very vulnerable to conditioning, but it makes you very unbiased. It makes you very, very good at seeing things for what they are. Seeing things exactly how they are. So you are literally the mirrors of society. What you see is how it is. And you reflect back to us what is actually going on, because we can't see it. We've got biases, we've got defined centers, we've got all this energy going on that is clouding our own judgment. You don't have that. You see things and people extremely clearly because you are completely open. Now, the reason you get pushed into your not self theme of disappointment is because when you reflect back to people, when you tell people what is going on and how they should move in order to get to where they want to get to, and you leave them and come back and they have not done what you said to do, or they have not changed their course to get to where they want to go the way that you said, you feel disappointment because you don't have a whole lot of energy to begin with. And you gave energy to this person by telling them what you saw and telling them how they can fix whatever issue they're going through. And they did not take the time to make those changes. That is disappointment for you. Because you're literally like, I gave you your solution on a silver platter. I gave you what you wanted and you didn't take it. You didn't do anything with it. You're still doing the same bullshit you were doing when I was here 20 minutes ago. Bet. That feeling of disappointment, or like your time has been wasted, or your energy, the little energy that you do have has been wasted, will push you straight into your not self theme of disappointment. So, in order to pull yourself out of that, you have to completely detach. You don't necessarily need to wait for people to be ready for what you have to say. You have free reign to guide people and tell people what you see at any point in time, but your thing is detachment. You cannot attach yourself so completely to an outcome or to what you see other people's potential being. Because if they don't make the changes that you have told them they need to make, if they don't take your advice at face value the way that they should, and you get attached to them doing that, you get attached to that outcome, and it doesn't happen because they didn't listen to you, you're now disappointed because you were waiting for them to do the things that you told them to do so they could get what they wanted. But when you detach from that, when you simply give your wisdom without attaching to the outcome of it, when you just reflect to reflect, when you just say what you need to say just for the sake of saying what needed to be said, you now release that feeling of disappointment because you didn't have an expectation to begin with. And that's the thing about being a reflector. You don't need anyone to do anything. You literally get to sample everyone else's energy. You get to reflect exactly what is going on. And you don't have to be attached to any of it. You literally just get to go through life, sample everything, and release it all. So the issue that pushes you into disappointment is that attachment. Do not attach to the outcome. Do not attach to someone else's action or non-action, because that doesn't reflect on you at all. That is all them. Yeah? Okay. So that was that. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I remember. Deconditioning. I talk about deconditioning a lot, but I don't think I've ever talked about how to actually decondition, like what that actually looks like. So, for me, in my opinion, deconditioning is breaking a cycle, because we have created habits from childhood based on our upbringing, based on things that we have experienced that has caused us to act out in a certain way. Deconditioning is going into that habit cycle and breaking the loop. Because usually what it is we get triggered, we react, and then we get an outcome that we don't want. We get triggered, we react, outcome we don't want. What deconditioning is getting triggered, getting curious about the trigger, responding, and changing that outcome. That's what deconditioning is. We're breaking that loop and we're getting a different outcome because we are responding to the situation differently, because we're not coming at it from the trigger. That is what I define as being deconditioning. So, I'm going to say this again. Your energy type, mastering your energy type, mastering your authority is 90% of living in alignment with your human design. So deconditioning your energy type is one of the most important things, especially if you're just starting with this work. So for generators and manifesting generators, a big thing that you all need to decondition out of is people pleasing. You want so badly to help other people. That is what you're meant to do on this planet, is lift other people up. But that doesn't mean that you lift others up at the expense of yourself. That is not what we want. So when you find yourself being triggered and when you feel yourself slipping into this people-pleasing pattern, to decondition, you now need to break that cycle. You now need to break that loop. I personally enjoy doing this through journaling. I decondition through journaling. That's what works best for me. I enjoy writing. I just do. If you don't like writing, you can meditate. If you don't like meditating, you can visualize. There's so many different ways to decondition. It's really, I mentioned this in one of my other lives, try everything. Try everything until you discover what works. For, who did I just talk about? Oh, for manifestors, a big thing that y'all need to decondition out of is playing small. You radiate a bigness. You have a huge aura. People are drawn to you because you are a leader. However, a lot of manifestors, because they want to be liked, because they want to be accepted by other people, by their parents, by their friends, by their peers, they will fall into this habit of playing small, of dimming themselves so that they don't make other people uncomfortable. Cut this shit out. You have to cut that out, because as a manifestor, you are meant to influence people. You are meant to be the trendsetter. You are meant to be a leader. You can't do that if you're playing small. So when you find yourself getting into this habit loop of dimming yourself down or playing small in order to make other people uncomfortable, you now need to go in and be like, okay, wait, whoa. Why am what in this situation is making me feel like I can't be all of me? And how can I respond differently to this situation so I can break this loop? That is deconditioning. For projectors, a big thing that projectors need to decondition out of is seeking external validation. And I will there's so many projectors in my life. I will preach this until the day I die. If you are a projector, your main goal, your main task every single day is to validate yourself. No one else is going to recognize you before you recognize yourself. It's not going to happen. If you don't see yourself as worthy and valuable first, no one else is going to see it. How can we? How can we recognize you when you don't recognize you? That'll make no sense. No sense. So, for you, when you find yourself seeking external validation, when you find yourself going above and beyond so that you can be recognized or validated by someone else, really take the time and think about, wait, am I doing this because I want to? Or am I doing this because I feel like it's going to make this person recognize my worth and recognize my value? Where am I putting someone else's view of me above my own view of me? Yeah. Who did I miss? Oh, reflectors. Oh my God, one of the biggest things that I find reflectors doing that they really need to decondition themselves out of is viewing their sensitivity as a weakness. No. And the thing is, society has tried to beat this idea into us that if you are sensitive, it means that you are weak, or if you are sensitive, it means that you are easily influenced. That is not the case at all. For reflectors, your sensitivity is your superpower. As a reflector, your sensitivity is what allows you to read everyone and everything around you in a way that enables you to push them forward, to get them where they want to be. Your sensitivity is the only reason that you are able to do this so effectively. So if you are running around here as a reflector thinking that your superpower is actually a hindrance, what are the chances that you're actually going to be using it to its fullest potential? My guess is 0. So for reflectors, for you to decondition this, you have to think to yourself, why am I viewing my sensitivity this way? Who told me that being sensitive was a weakness? Where did this belief come from? And digging into this until you realize, oh, you know what? It was that one time when I was 5 and I got my favorite doll taken away and I started to cry. And my father told me, you don't get to cry. It's just a stupid doll. And you thought, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's just a doll. Why am I being so sensitive? No. So getting to the root of why is it that you view your sensitivity as a weakness, and then releasing it, letting it go, and doing that over and over and over and over and over again until that becomes the new habit, until questioning those until questioning that conditioning and those limiting beliefs becomes the habit. And that's when you know when you've really worked through something. When your curiosity becomes a habit rather than just reacting the same way that you've been reacting for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. That's where the true transformation comes from. Okay, I think that was everything that I wanted to cover on this live. I think so. So, thank you all for hanging out with me, for listening to me. I will be back. I might do another live later, but for sure I'll be back tomorrow. So, thank you, and I will see you later.